Hello, my most amazing artists. We are going to do the recap of what we did for Fun Friday in case you missed it. So we are going to start by creating the one-up character from Mario. And the artist that I got the inspiration from to do all this stuff today is called Invader, and all of his information is on the COVID website, and there's a little bit on my webpage too. So I thought one-up is somebody that we all know. So it's just simple lines and shapes. What I'm going to do, and you can use crayons, you can use Sharpies, markers, whatever you have lying around. I got a bingo dabber because it makes it really easy for you to see what I'm doing. So I got a blank piece of paper. I have it the long way, but you can do it the horizontal way if that works for you. And then I'm going to do almost a full circle, but I'm going to leave the bottom open. This is the cap to our one-up mushroom. So after you do that part, make sure it's pretty symmetrical, which means the same on both sides. I'm going to do a rainbow right at the bottom, and I left some space right at the corners. If you don't, that's okay too. So I have that almost full circle, the stretched out rainbow shape. Now we got to make his body. It's really small. So what I do is I do a letter U that connects that rainbow shape to the other side, and this is where you can finish off that half circle shape. Pretty easy when you use the lines and shapes like we know how. So now he's got eyes that kind of go down. They're like long skinny ovals, and one-up's eyes are usually shiny in the game, but you can make them not shiny. I just do two lines going down, but they also look kind of like ovals or maybe really stretched out rectangles. And the last detail on one-up are the circles that are on his cap. So he's got two half circles and then one big circle. I'm going to start with the big circle in the middle because it takes up the most room, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but that way I know I have this much room on both sides for the half circles. So when I do a half circle, I think about a letter C and a backwards letter C, and that will help me make one-up's half circles. So a C, and then a backwards C, and he is done. And one-up can be any color you want. Most of the time he's red or green, but I've seen him in every color. So if you make one, please make sure you color him in and send me a picture to my email or to the Google Classroom. And don't forget to sign your name on everything you make, because no name is no fame. Okay, so the next drawing we did together was the Pac-Man ghosts, and I gotta get some clean paper, which is way over here. So the Pac-Man ghost is something that the artist Invader uses a lot in his graffiti work. He likes the pixelated look of the old Pac-Man game and the ghosts in it, so he puts it on lots of buildings around Europe where he lives. Just don't put artwork on something that doesn't belong to you. We know that, but he's able to. So for the ghost, we're going to use simple lines and shapes too. And if you noticed, I kind of got a little on the table, which will come right off. But if you're using a bingo dabber or something that bleeds through the paper, maybe put a second piece underneath. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw the biggest rainbow, the biggest, longest rainbow I can. And it should be symmetrical, kind of like the one-up guy, which means the same on both sides. One side isn't longer than the other. So after I get that shape down, I gotta do 3 upside down letter V's, or like a zigzag. 1, 2, 3. Now the ghost is so simple, he's almost done. The only thing I need now are circles, and he's got big wide eyes because he's looking for Pac-Man. and they're not quite touching, but these are also symmetrical, which means they're about the same size. You can put the eyes looking up, to the side, at the bottom. The ghosts in Pac-Man look all around, so you can put the eyeballs wherever you want and color it in when you're done. Now we took this guy that we made and we actually turned him into a Play-Doh character. On my website, there is a recipe for homemade Play-Doh. And you're also going to be getting that recipe in the resources next week, so keep an eye on the COVID webpage, because if you don't have Play-Doh, if you have flour, salt, and water at home, you can make it. So what we did first to make our ghost, you can have any color you want. Make sure it's your favorite color. It doesn't have to match the drawing. I rolled it into a ball, kind of like a big Timbit. Okay, once I had a pretty nice, almost smooth ball, and the cracks are normal, that's fine. I flattened it out to about the fatness of my hand. That way it doesn't break and it's not too skinny. So that's about right. So now we have a round shape, but we got to make it look like our ghosty. So I showed my friends a really cool trick for flattening edges without slamming or pounding. You can tap the sides that you want to be flat and it does it for you. So I want that side pretty flat and then the opposite side, not the top because the top is round. And if you get him just right, he can be freestanding, which means he can stand on his own, which is really cool. After that part, if he is freestanding, he won't be after this. I pinched off 2 pieces, kind of in the middle, of Play-Doh. And this Play-Doh can go right back in the container so that I don't waste it. And I took my fingers and I just did a little pinch, 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 until I got it to those zigzaggy looking shapes. There's not going to be as many zigzags on my Play-Doh, but that's okay. And you're the boss of the Play-Doh, so if it is not the shape you want, you can tell it what to do, because it is okay to be bossy with something that is not alive. All right, so now the last thing we need to do are the eyeballs. Now you can use different color Play-Doh, you can put some pieces of paper, you can put your fingerprints. I'm actually going to use marker, just the marker cap. And that works almost perfectly. He's got all his eyeballs in there. So those are what we did today, my friends. The 1-Up, the ghosty, the Play-Doh sculpture ghosty, and make sure you ask permission before you let this dry on its own so that your parents don't get mad, because Play-Doh does cost money. But if you do get permission for this to dry, you'll have a sculpture forever. Please take a picture and mail it to me at lpavlik@medinacsd.org. Bye, guys.